The movie begins with a voiceover, "We were given life billions of years ago. But what have we done with it?" We are introduced to Lucy, who is standing with her friend. He shows her a bag and tells her to take it into a hotel and hand it to a man inside. In return, they'll get $1,000. Lucy scoffs at the small sum, refusing to do it. Undeterred, her friend handcuffs the suitcase to her wrist and orders her to go in. Reluctantly, Lucy obeys and enters the hotel. At the reception, Lucy asks for a man named Mr. Zhang. As she waits, gunshots ring out, and her friend is shot dead. She's captured and taken to a hotel room. Mr. Zhang enters, his hands drenched in blood. He calmly washes his hands and asks Lucy what's in the suitcase. Terrified, Lucy cries and insists she doesn't know her friend gave it to her. Mr. Zhang demands she open the suitcase. Lucy asks if it's a bomb. He responds coldly, "It could be. I don't trust your friend. He's capable of anything." Lucy hesitates, but when his men point guns at her, she finally unlocks the suitcase. Inside, she finds 4 blue packets of some mysterious substance. To test it, Mr. Zhang's men bring in a man, and when he sniffs the substance, he begins to laugh uncontrollably. Displeased, Mr. Zhang shoots him dead in front of Lucy. Mr. Zhang then offers Lucy a job. She refuses, demanding to be let go. His men strike her, knocking her unconscious. Cut to a university lecture, where a professor explains how humans use 10% of their brains, whereas dolphins use 20%. He states that if a human could use 20%, they would have complete control over their body, and at 40%, they could control others. A student asks what would happen if a human used 100% of their brain. The professor replies, "I don't know." Lucy wakes up in pain, bandaged and confused. A doctor explains that they didn't remove any organs, instead, they implanted a packet of the substance into her stomach. 3 other people have the same packets inside them. They're all being forced to deliver the substance under threat of harm to their families. Lucy is then locked in a room with the man she was supposed to deliver the substance to. He tries to assault her, and when she resists, he begins beating her. During the assault, the packet inside her bursts, and the substance enters her bloodstream. Lucy's body starts to change, she experiences intense physical sensations, and her body lifts off the ground. When she regains consciousness, she is no longer the same person. Now, Lucy is far more powerful. When the man returns to attack her, she defeats him with ease and escapes. She kills several guards along the way, taking a bullet to her body but effortlessly removing it, as if immune to pain. She takes a taxi to a hospital, where she observes a patient's brain on a monitor. How did she know the patient would die? The substance is now affecting her brain, which is functioning at 20%. Lucy, now capable of controlling electronics, calls the professor from earlier, Professor Samuel, and reveals that she's read his entire website. He is skeptical, but Lucy appears on his TV screen, controlling it with her mind. She tells him everything he's written is true, and that she has far more knowledge to share. Lucy then sets out to track down the people with the substances in their stomachs. She informs the police, and their faces appear on screens around the city. But as Lucy's brain power increases to 40%, she begins to control others with her mind. She feels her body deteriorating as the cells in her body break down, and her skin burns from the inside out. She takes another dose of the substance and loses consciousness. When she awakens, she finds herself in the hospital, able to use 50% of her brain. The police arrive, intent on arresting her, but Lucy uses her powers to render them unconscious, except for one inspector. As her brain power continues to grow, she hears every phone call in the city, tracking down the people responsible for the substance. The Zhang group arrives at the hospital and confronts Lucy. She fights back, her powers growing stronger. She defeats them with ease, sending their guns flying into the air, magnetized to the ceiling. She takes the remaining packets of substance, instructing the inspector to follow her. Lucy then seeks out Professor Samuel, but Zhang's men are hot on her trail. When she meets the professor, she demonstrates her increasing powers. At 70% brain usage, she uses the metals in the room to build a computer and stores all her knowledge. As her brain functions at 80%, she creates an advanced computer capable of holding vast amounts of information. Lucy's powers continue to grow as she reaches 99% brain usage, and she begins to transcend time itself, traveling back to the age of the dinosaurs and even further into the pre-human era. At the peak of her abilities, Lucy's body begins to disintegrate as she uses 100% of her brain, becoming pure energy. Just as Zhang prepares to kill her, she disappears. The inspector, now alone, kills Zhang. He tries to find Lucy, but instead, he receives a message, "I am everywhere." The film ends with the voiceover once again, "We were given life billions of years ago. But what did we do with it? What have we understood about our lives? We have been given an advanced computer, our brains. But most of us use our bodies to earn money. Only a few people ever unlock the true potential of their minds." The story concludes as Lucy, now everywhere, has unlocked the full potential of human existence.